One, two, one, two. Okay. One, two, one, two. Buenos días y bienvenidos, mi gente. I see we are still arriving, but that's okay because one of our number one rules here is arrive alive. Thank you. Welcome to All Souls, where love is the spirit of our community. Whether you're joining us in person, online, in the present, or catching up with us later, please know that you matter to this community. In this time of great division, may you find hope, love, and community here. I invite you now to please rise in body or spirit to greet your neighbor with your name and your pronouns. And folks online, let us know where you're watching from. Introduce yourselves in the chat, and we will come back to the sound of the piano.
Good morning. I am Sonia Eisenhart. My pronouns are she, her. I will be serving as your worship associate for today's service, together with Reverend Nancy Olson, Minister of Congregational Life and Faith Formation, Rev Katie, our senior minister, whose pronouns are she, ella, and Liz Elsmore, music director, pronouns she, her, and we are your worship team on the chancel today. People of all ages are joyfully welcome in service. Nursery care is available if that option works best for you. I invite everyone to please complete a connection card in person or online. This card is a great way to let us know if you would like support, need assistance, have new contact information, or have an interest, comment, or question. Please place it in the offering basket. As we begin our time together, we acknowledge the land itself and those who have sustained it through the generations. We are on the unceded land of the Lenape, Miami, Kakaskia, Shawnee, and Kickapoo people who were pushed from their lands and whose children have been stolen for generations. Today is World Indigenous Day. Millions of indigenous people across the globe experience displacement and systems of oppression affecting generations. As we strive to be a community of justice, may we continue to find ways to make real reparations. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing 1009, Meditation on Breathing.
Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in,
breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out.
Can you hear it? Silence. My heartbeat, yours, the intake of breath from your neighbor or a sweet squirrel outside, the rush of the memorial fountain, your cat, the AC, or maybe something else. In this moment, in this stillness, exists mysteries, miseries, joys, hopes, possibilities. Tune in, listen deeply, and let us worship.
Good morning. The Morose family is lighting our chalice this morning. Thank you. This ritual of lighting our chalice, it reminds us to continually renew our promise, to live into our covenant, to put love into action, and to live out the community of love and justice that we aim to be. So if you would please rise in body or spirit as we share the words that are printed in your order of celebration. They're in Spanish and English. If you're online, we'd like to know where you are lighting your chalice from. And let us say the words in Spanish first. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia, y el servicio es su ley. Vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad en el amor, y ayudarnos unos a otros. Este es nuestro pacto. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. This is our covenant. Thank you. Thanks.
Please join me in taking a few moments to note that which is currently bringing joy or sorrow to our community. We hold in our hearts the family of Randy Trowbridge, who recently passed. Hard conversations and transitions.
I'm also going to share something that I know has been in the news and may be a little triggering for some, so I invite you to breathe into this space, to notice what's in front of you, what's to your left, what's to your right, and what's behind you as we ground ourselves in this space. Many here have been following the news as it relates to our former staff member, Nasreen Khan, brilliant artist, an incredible human being who was assaulted just over a year ago. And some have noticed in the news that the person who assaulted Nasreen has been convicted. So I invite you now to hold Nasreen and her son Elias in your hearts as she opens this new chapter in her life, free from what this last year has been. Thank you for lighting a candle for Nasreen and Elias Ron.
Let us hold a moment of silence together for the joys and sorrows in our hearts that are yet unnamed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please rise and body our spirit as we sing number 354, We Laugh, We Cry.
We will be singing verses 1 and 4.
We laugh, we cry, we live, we die, we dance, we sing our song. We need to feel there's something here to which we can belong. We need to feel the freedom just to have some time alone. But most of all, we need close friends we can call our very own. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a need to be together. We have our hearts to give, we have our thoughts to receive, and we believe that sharing is an answer. We seek elusive answers to the questions of this life. We seek to put an end to all the waste of human strife. We search for truth, equality, and blessed peace of mind. And then we come together here to make sense of what we find. And we believe in life and in the strength of love. And we have found a joy being together. And in our search for peace, maybe we'll finally see, even to question truly is an answer.
Oh.
I know, this is a little different. So this is a little inside baseball. If you're joining us here today, know that we are in the midst of a transition. And Nancy, when a minister leaves a congregation, an invitation for transformation occurs. A formational journey begins again for ministers and also for congregations. And it also puts us face to face with our contradictory and unrealistic expectations. Now, we have a reading to share with you. It's called The Perfect UU Congregation. It's written by UU minister Reverend Don Cooley, who used to serve UUI as a transitional minister. And she wrote this with a little assistance from Cloud. And it was designed to help talk about the Perfect UU congregation. Will you help me out here, Nancy?
Sure. I mean, I think you mean those ideas of perfect congregation. You know, the perfect congregation is located on a sprawling park-like campus in a quiet and contemplative setting, conveniently situated in the heart of downtown with ample parking, easy access to public transportation.
I love that. The Perfect congregation is expanding with newcomers every week, and it's a place where everyone knows everyone else.
One of my favorites is that the Perfect congregation always has plenty of volunteers, and it never has to ask them.
Oh, I love that. And the Perfect congregation never talks about money, and it always exceeds its fundraising goals.
You know, those perfect congregations, they prefer sermons that dive deep into a topic and are 7 minutes long.
Even faster if it's on a day when the Cults are playing. Yeah. The Perfect congregation is deeply committed to justice. It speaks boldly and prophetically on every issue of the day while never offending anyone.
The Perfect congregation cherishes its historic building. It preserves every beautiful, original detail while also being fully accessible, technologically advanced, energy efficient, and inexpensive to maintain.
The Perfect congregation is completely open and affirming to a variety of religious beliefs and traditions while never encountering theological disagreement.
The Perfect congregation is a vibrant, diverse community where decisions are always easy and no one really disagrees.
The Perfect congregation is always growing, but never changing.
If your congregation does not measure up, there are plenty of congregations around. Just keep going to one after another until you find the one perfect congregation.
Okay, wait a minute. I dream of the perfect minister. This appeared in the Rochester Courier-Journal in September of 1981. The perfect pastor preaches exactly 7 to 10 minutes. He condemns sin roundly, but never hurts anyone's feelings. He works from 8 a.m. until midnight and is also the church janitor. The perfect pastor makes $40 a week, wears good clothes, drives a good car, buys great books, and donates $30 a week to the church. He is 29 years old and has 40 years of experience. And my personal favorite, above all, he is handsome. The perfect pastor has a burning desire to work with teenagers, and he spends most of his time with the senior citizens. He smiles all the time with a straight face because he has a sense of humor that keeps him seriously dedicated to his church. He makes 15 home visits a day and is always in his office to be handy when needed. The perfect pastor always has time for church council and all of its committees. He never misses a meeting of any church organization, and he always busy evangelizing the unchurched. The perfect pastor is always the next church over. So, if your pastor does not measure up, simply send this notice to 6 other churches that are tired of their pastors too. Then bundle up your pastor, send them to church at the top of the list. If everyone cooperates, in a week you will receive 1,643 pastors. And surely one of them should be perfect.
Thank you.
Good job. Hey, that was fun and lively. A little bit like the readings.
I
Fun and
agree,
lively.
Thank you, Liz, too. That was so much fun. The readings, I think, really show how impossible and wonderful and complex expectations can be.
You know, I've been thinking, Rev. Katie, in your letter to the congregation, you said, quote, "Let me start by saying that as I have reflected upon the series of tragedies that befell my family in the last 18 months, I began to see the places where my life was out of balance with work, my culture, my health, and my commitment to family." You went on to say that our many discussions about Deepa Iyer's social change now have also had an impact on me, and much of my energy has been spent managing a range of building crises that had built up over the years, as well as other administrative changes and issues. And you said these consistently added to my workload, pulling me away from the work of ministry in more relational areas, pastoral care, worship, leading small group ministries, community connections, etc., and have led to overwork and burnout. Is this the reason you are leaving?
So thank you, Nancy, for quoting that. And I will say, so burnout, there's actually a clinical definition of burnout, and I actually don't meet the criteria for burnout. And I think one of the blessings of having a therapist who's also a person of color is that I'm coming to understand there's a difference between clinical burnout and also reaching capacity in terms of systems of oppression. And those are not necessarily the same thing, although one can certainly lead to the other. But really, there isn't a single story here. And I'm inviting everyone to hold the multitudes. Picking a single story in some ways makes things easy. And our work as Unitarian Universalists is to pass life through the fire of thought, to stay in the complexity and to crack our theology open, to hold multiple truths and weave them into a deeper, more meaningful, more expansive theology. So while there are a lot of factors, and a big one is also that I've been seeing signs in the system for a while that our ministry is coming to an end. And it's really important for ministers to leave when their ministry is at an end. And we've done good shared ministry for 4 years. My goodness, we've had fires, floods, threats of violence, no AC, no heat, and we've made it through. We've thrived through it. And even you've had the most historic capital campaign in this congregation's history. I mean, these are extraordinary things that we've done through shared ministry. And the congregation knows what it means to split because a minister overstays. And we'll talk more about this and some other things in our work with Rev. Julica. You know, my role at this time is to support the congregation. It's in what's next, to resource you, to provide information. And the only thing I will be prescriptive about is that you continue to work with Reverend Julica, who, for those who are new, is the affiliated community minister who's been a multicultural ministry coach for this congregation for many years. This congregation is a flagship in having a woman of color as a minister and agreeing to do multicultural ministry coaching work. So, good on you.
Well, you also said in your letter, quote, "Additionally, there have been hard moments rooted in racism and misogyny," unquote. Will you tell us those stories?
So I'm going to invite everyone to read the book Centering. We have copies still in the library that you can borrow and return. This is a collection of stories written by ministers who are people of color in Unitarian Universalism. And some of these stories have happened here. Some of them haven't, but some of them have. I'll also share that, you know, Nasreen, whom I mentioned earlier, when Nasreen was here, Nasreen actually preached about how after being here for years, some people could never get her name correct, even though she repeatedly corrected people. And I noticed this pattern also when Leah and Rumbi started, our new administrative staff, and I put a pronunciation guide in the know to help people properly pronounce their names and pronounce their names from the pulpit. This is a way that unconscious bias that's rooted in racism shows up. And there are a lot of ways that that happens in the system. It's rarely a case of someone trying to be intentionally mean or overtly racist, but those things do add up over time. And it means that people of color in a system usually have to work harder to be heard and listened to. There's credit sometimes that's unearned for white colleagues that we must strive for, and that credit, that recognition, that level of support, that level of grace is never really there for us. And I think that that's true here as well. And these stories, they're hard to share, they're painful, and I don't want them to also overshadow the incredible work and progress, because both of those things are true. And one of the things I love about this congregation is that you all always want to do the right thing, even when it's hard. And when you know better, you do better. Exactly.
Well, we have done a lot of work, and we have, in thinking about the future, we still have spots to offer another Naughty Conversations, which was well received. We do still have things in our pipeline to carry out as we move forward here.
Can you explain Naughty Conversations to folks who
Yeah,
haven't done it?
Knotty. Knotty. Naughty Conversations, it is let's see, how many people here have participated in one? We've done it 3 times. Oh, yeah, quite a few people.
Awesome.
Yeah, we've offered it 3 times, and it is a 6, 7 session, I forget how many it is. And it's really about having difficult conversations around oppression and race and learning a little bit, increasing one's awareness about the issues, but also together talking about your own experiences, your own ideas, your own assumptions. And it's called Naughty Conversations because it's created in a safe space to talk about things that might seem difficult or challenging in other situations.
And here's the thing, the work is never done, because the more we learn there is to know. And there's a certain amount of grace we need to give ourselves and each other as we show up to do the work, to be accountable, and to keep learning. And this applies to those of us who hold marginalized or multiple marginalized identities as well. We have our own work to do within our communities.
Well, all that said, you have had a good ministry here,
I think so.
and it was collaborative. And could you share some of your favorite moments?
So, we have one of our littles here. Baby blessings. It has been such an honor to do child dedications. The Love Wins weddings and the ways in which this congregation showed up, threw open its doors, and hosted wedding ceremonies. And of course, weddings and vow renewals outside of Love Wins, house blessings, bridging ceremonies, and even the celebrations of life. It's such an honor to journey with you all in times of grieving and remembering those who've passed, learning things about them, about people who've passed I didn't know before, working with congregants and staff, working with Reverend Julica, and seeing this congregation come out of COVID stronger. Meeting with other UUs, we've started the work of strengthening Unitarian Universalism in Indiana. The AC and roof being done, even though the new roof is leaking. We do have a contract for it, though, a maintenance contract, so it'll be taken care of. So that's a win. The Capital Campaign, working with the Black Church Coalition, the food pantry that's here, the vending machine, the sexuality health vending machine, reviving sexuality health programming, working with the pastoral visitors, and so many committees and teams, and the ways in which the congregation has ultimately grown and become more welcoming. I'm also looking forward to drag bingo and drag brunch.
Well, there are different questions that continue to come up, but one has been this rule about no contact with the congregation for 2 to 3 years. And I've even had people ask me if there are some, exceptions to that rule.
Yeah, this is a hard one. So I've also been asked if there are exceptions about social justice work, because I do a lot of social justice work in the community, and I'm actually backing off of social justice work in the community right now. This 2 to 3 no contact rule is meant to make space for the next minister so that you can develop a relationship with them. And it is traditional within Unitarian Universalism. There are no exceptions, except if you see me on the street, we can say hello. You don't have to dive roll to the other side of the street. I will ask you if you want a hug. You may see me at the hospital where I will be pretty part-time, or should I say hospitals, but you may see me there. It's okay to say hello. And good endings are important. This 2 to 3 year no contact is about trying to have a good ending, trying to have a clear ending so that you can move forward. You are invited to unfriend me on social media. Part of what we are meant to do is to unfriend folks on social media for a few years. I won't take it personally if you beat me to that. Y'all know I'm not great on Facebook as it is, so it's okay to start that process. Also, in the interim, if you need a job recommendation, that's a time that you can reach out to me, and I'll be in conversation with a new minister around that. But oftentimes, I will know you better than someone that is just arriving, and I'm happy to offer job recommendations. A lot of requests will go through Babette Miller or the board president when the new minister arrives, before the new minister arrives, and then the new minister when they arrive. And I will covenant with them. We will create an agreement when they do get here. Which brings us to the what now. Well, the what now is please come to the board meeting at 6:30 tomorrow. Your board is considering a lot of possibilities, but what are you going to be doing, Nancy? Will you be there, Minister?
Oh, gosh, that question has been asked ever since you ordained me. What is that? We don't quite know yet. Here's a couple things we know. As long as Reverend Katie is still here, I'm going to continue doing my work that I do and supporting the transition in any ways that can be. I will continue to do that. And whatever I'm here for now, and however my role and my support, how I can continue to serve, we will see how that evolves. We're not sure right now. Right now, the leadership is, sorting through what's next. There's been a little joke about that I don't preach, so I just want to say that, okay, I do show up in a pulpit occasionally, but the thing is, I don't know if everybody really knows this, but a minister spends 15 to 20 hours a week writing a sermon, preparing a service. I mean, maybe people don't realize of that. Preaching is not my ministry. My ministry is congregational life. It is facilitating groups. It is supporting connections. It is making sure we have the details and the things we need so that we can do the good work we do. I'm behind the scenes that way. I didn't go to school to preach. I went to school to be a coach, a counselor, program facilitator. I mean, ministers have preaching 101 and 201 and 32 and whatever, So the whole thing about whether I will start filling in as the preacher, no. But I may show up there again. I might. But it's a lot of work. And I also, when I write, it takes me a long time because I'm just very particular about what I say. So I won't be preaching. But I'm here, and I will continue to provide what I can for as long as I can. And that's what we know.
And I'm going to invite you to resist the urge to pull Nancy into things that may be outside of her portfolio. If you need an answer about paint colors or flowers or any number of things that normally you might go to an administrator or to me for, if I'm still here for things, please not paint chips. If I'm still here, please come to me with things. But if I'm not, please don't go to Nancy. And please don't start bringing Nancy into things now. Sometimes when we're anxious, we look for ways to direct our anxiety to get quick answers. And that's a normal way that our brain functions. It wants something to hold on to. It wants a sense of assurance. But I'm going to encourage you, talk to the board. When in doubt, if you want to know what a staff member does, talk to Babette. Babette is head of personnel. I'm also going to ask you to please don't approach people of color in the congregation or staff who are people of color to ask them what they've experienced. That actually causes harm. So hang on a little bit to some of your questions, read the book, go to Naughty Conversations, and work with Rev Julica. Now, we also asked a wise group what questions they had. And one of the questions was, what's the role of the worship team? Who will be in the pulpit, and who chooses who will be in the pulpit? I'm a little bit of a control enthusiast. I plan worship pretty far out. So some parts of our worship calendar have been planned until June for a while. I have done, with an agreement from the board and also from our region, I am filling in through December. And then again, there's some things that are filled in through June. The worship associate is going to be working on some of those other pieces. So the board shouldn't be working to fill in the pulpit. The worship team is going to do that. And when we know for sure what some of the other decisions are, we'll have a more clear answer. But for the most part, who's filling in at the pulpit? The worship team is going to be handling a lot of that, and some of it's already been pre-programmed. It is a mix of incredible fellowshipped UU ministers like Mary Ann Macklin and the Reverend Nancy McDonald Ladd, who some of you have met. She's a complete rock star. She'll be here. Rev Tet from the Philippines will be back. And then some extraordinary lay leaders from within the congregation. The question about any more discernment on what kind of minister or ministry All Souls will be seeking. Will it be an interim minister here for 2 years or developmental 3 to 5? That's something that's still in process. Come to the board meeting at 6:30 tomorrow. I think we'll be upstairs in the BD room. I am looking at our co-presidents upstairs in the BD room. Yes, thank you, Mercedes.
No, one thing if I could interject here too. There's a lot of pressure on what's going to happen, what's going to happen, what down the road. We are right here, right now.
That's right.
And our leaders are exploring all the many things in a really a quick manner, are pulling things together.
Quick and intentional.
Quick and intentional. And so, I did talk about this a couple weeks ago. We're in transition, and there's that phase where we want to be here, but right now we're here. We're processing how we feel. We're being present and patient, and it's understandable we want to know where we're headed, but we can't know that yet. We just can't know all that yet.
We will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there.
Heaven knows how.
Whoa, yeah.
Well, yeah. Let's sing that. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Another great question. Will we continue outreach to the Latinx community? So, our main renter and our main partner is Grow Early Learning, which serves seasonal and migrant workers. It's a bilingual Spanish-English preschool. They are fully funded, cash in hand for next year.
Yay.
Nothing short of a miracle. I just got the email this week.
Right.
We have a Spanish language monthly conversation group, and I'll be sharing with a small group of pastoral visitors who speak Spanish some additional materials from a clinical pastoral education class I'm taking with an international cohort of chaplains from Bolivia, Colombia, Mexico, and Peru. So I'll be sharing those materials and supporting those chaplains so they can meet with folks who normally would come to me. Another great question, will there be people to talk to after service as everyone is processing the transition, or perhaps after my big party and after I leave? So I'll talk to the pastoral visitors and see what capacity is and what we can do to make some folks available. Who's in charge of staff? This is a question we received. So the answer is me. I'm in charge of staff until I leave. So any questions about staff, staff jobs, job descriptions, staff hours, those should come to me. Please don't go to staff and ask them questions about their role or their hours or what they think. That can be harmful. There's a power differential there that we want to hold. So come to me. Don't go to Nancy. And when
Unless you're
I'm
not
not here, go to Babette. Babette is the chair of personnel and is supported by a team. So Virginia Snell and Pat Fisher are also on the personnel team. Now here's a fun one. You want to tell? This is wild, y'all.
A couple of you already heard me tell this story. I got an email from a congregant at UUI who was interested in perhaps purchasing our labyrinth because she heard that we were selling the building and the materials in it. And the thing about this is we thought it was a done deal because I responded to the administrator and our co-presidents, but now we find out someone else has been asked that.
Yeah.
So we thought maybe we'd let you know if anybody reaches out. Do not panic. So far, I don't think we're selling the building.
No, our co-presidents are saying
Co-presidents
no.
are shaking their head.
But
Therefore, yeah, I mean, it's been popping up here.
Yeah,
So,
it is a wild rumor. And when any congregation is in transition, anxiety pops up, sometimes outside of the system. So when in doubt, talk to board leadership. Talk to me while I'm here because there are some wild rumors going around. And then another one is that everyone is just going to come here. UUI should sell their building and everyone should just come here and we'll put the two congregations together. And then there's a rumor at UUI, or that's come through UUI, that we're going to sell our building and just go there, and we're going to be one congregation. Merging congregations, any congregations, particularly congregations where, so UUI came into being when All Souls split. So merging congregations when there's been a split takes extra care and extra attention and extra work. So to our knowledge, none of that is happening. So if you hear that, that just might be anxiety expressing in the system. And who can you talk to when you have questions? Yes, you can talk to me or the board. And you can come to board meetings, because again, there's a board meeting at what time? 6:30. Where? In the Beatty Room tomorrow, exactly. Now, Nancy is going to be on study leave and vacation for the next 4 weeks.
couple weeks.
Yeah. So I'm here. Nancy's going to be on study leave. Business as usual. We've done this before when one of us is on vacation or study leave. And as we're in this time, I'm here to support you all in opening up to what you would love. This is a time for taking chances as they come, for revisioning. And next week, you have this wonderful service on joy and poetry. So keep coming together, keep refocusing, and keep opening your hearts to what's possible. And if we get a little bit lost, hopefully this next song can help guide us. It's hymn number 131 in the gray hymnal, Love Will Guide Us. Please rise in body or spirit. Let's sing together. Thank you, Nancy.
Love like angels. If you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us. Peace has tried us. Hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.
This week, we are sharing our offering plate with Miami Nations Honor Fund. They align with UU values by transforming a standard land acknowledgement into a living practice of justice, equality, and spiritual accountability. It allows us to pay a voluntary rent to the rightful stewards of the land we occupy, supporting the future of the Miami culture, language, and community. To contribute, you can gift cash or a check into the collection plate, or if online, you can go to allsoulsindy.org, where you will find a link that says donate on the top right corner. Please indicate if your gift is a pledge payment or if it is for share the plate if you are paying online and using a check. Thank you for your generosity and support of the mission of All Souls, and for your continued love for one another in this world. The morning offering may now be given and gratefully received.
Thank you, Jay and Liz and song leaders. Thank you, Sonia. This is good shared ministry. You know, when you called me as your minister, one of the things that were in the search packet was that you wanted someone to help you engage conflict and to clarify pathways of engagement. So today's service is about directly managing conflict, dispelling myths in a clear and loving way and clarifying pathways of being in community. And we did it through shared ministry. So thank you. Thank you to everyone who offered questions, and thank you for showing up, and thank you to everyone who helped create this service. I have some words for you from this journaling class I'm taking through the Kripalu Institute. There are times in our lives when something begins to dissolve and fall away. A relationship, a sense of direction, a way we once understood ourselves or our place in the world. Almost immediately, the mind interprets this as a problem. Something has gone wrong. I need to fix this. From a deeper alchemical, I've been flipping back and forth between Spanish and English a lot this week, and I'm struggling with words. Alchemical perspective, this falling apart is not a mistake. It is a movement of the psyche where what has been held together too tightly begins to soften and loosen so that something different can emerge. I have a mentor who says sometimes something good has to fall apart to make room for something great. But this reading continues. It's raw, it's tender, there is ache, a heart breaking open. What if this tender, groundless place is not something to move out of, but a doorway into deeper understanding, an invitation, a clearing for vision? May it be so. Que así sea. Amen. I'd like to invite Mary and Keith Bavacqua up. They have a few announcements before we sing our postlude.
We have a very big event coming up on August 30th. Did you know that the social justice team connects All Souls to the greater liberal faith community in Indiana, including our politically active Congregationalist, Methodist, Jewish, and non-denominational brethren? Did you know that the prison ministry team is writing to incarcerated individuals, and you too can give hope and comfort to fellow Hoosiers? And did you know that the Welcome Committee is planning Drag Bingo Night on September 11th? Sounds pretty fun, right? Okay? Yeah. Each of these groups and others need your help. Teamwork makes the All Souls dream work. All right? Woo! Join us at the engagement fair on August 30th after service in the social hall to see how you can help make the dream. Tell your friends.
Wake now my senses and hear the earth call. Feel the deep power of being in all. Keep with the web of creation your vow. Giving, receiving, as love shows us how. Wake now my reason, reach out to the new. Join with each pilgrim who quests for the true. Honor the beauty and wisdom of time. Suffer the limit and praise the sublime. Wake now, compassion, give heed to the crime. Voices of suffering fill the wide sky. Take as your neighbor both stranger and friend, praying and and striving their hardship to end.